So I'm gonna talk about World War III because we seem to be light rail is equal to mobile homeless shelter. That's another great comment, by the way.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Things turn out really bad, America will be engaged. And of course, it's not so much about using American troops, but using American material, using American reconnaissance, using American intelligence, etc., etc.
These guys are drooling for World War III and trying to get us into it as well. They know that they can't win a fight unless we come in on board. But they sure want to pick this fight. And it's psychotic. And that's Finland. That's the Finnish president saying that. What the crap does Finland have anything to do with what we do? Nothing.
Right.
Just shut your pie hole, Finlander.
Yeah, they couldn't. It would if the U.S. wanted to take over Finland, it'd be a long weekend. That's all it would be. So
why would we want to? We already have northern Minnesota.
Right.
You urges all citizens to prepare for war with survival kits, including food and water, to survive 72 whole hours amid fears of World War III. They are priming the pump here. Understand this. They're putting this stuff in so that you're prepared for it. So when it happens, we're told it was going to happen. I gotta get rid of this thing. It's like eye cancer. So this is Europe. They're pushing for war. They're drooling for it.
It seems really strange, though, because Trump was the first president in modern history where a war wasn't started when he was in
and they're protesting him and calling him fascist.
Yeah. So when Obama was in charge, Russia took over the state of Georgia, the country of Georgia. Sorry, and so on and so forth. When Trump's 4 years, nothing happened.
Right.
And Biden comes along. Okay, he goes after Ukraine. What's going to happen with Trump in office? Nothing.
Right.
They're stoking a fire, trying to create a problem that Trump's not going to allow.
Right.
So he's going to this Finnish guy. He's going to get put in his place pretty darn fast if he's thinking of starting a war with somebody. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
It's all of the EU. They're actually I heard they're sending troops out there. And then what's going to happen is Russia's going to hit something, or Ukraine is going to bomb them. Who knows? And make it look like Russia did it. And then they'll say, well, you've just attacked NATO, and all the NATO forces have to come together and attack Russia. It seems like the plan. They've been toying with it the whole time. They keep sending stuff there. The only reason we're not there is, and I'll tell you what, if Kamala had been elected, we'd be there.
Right? Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'd be on the borders right now. If we weren't in a full-fledged war, it would be very close. And it's scary. It's scary to send your kids to die in a war that means nothing to us. Ukraine means nothing to the United States.
Right.
We've got News Talk. Group sues to block president's top executive order on election security. Boy, they really don't want election security, do they? You've got to ask yourself, what's driving this? I mean, all the time. If there's one thing the Democrats don't want is election integrity. And the one thing we need to have is election integrity in a country that is supposed to be based on voting and one man, one vote, or one woman, one vote.
And I forgot to put up the Wisconsin election results because they made no sense.
Oh, I know. Yes, you're right. I actually have those somewhere.
So the hardcore liberal judge, she won by, 200,000 votes.
Yeah, I think it was 55 to 45%.
Yeah. Yet the voter ID passed by more than that.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And then there were 80,000 more people that voted for voter ID than did, or for the Supreme Court than they voted for the voter ID.
Yeah, I
So
actually got
80,000 people just didn't looked at the same ballot and just didn't mark anything down. It doesn't make
right.
sense either. I mean,
That's it.
maybe like 50. Yeah, I could see that. 80,000? No, I don't see that.
Well, it really doesn't want me to share this thing for some reason, but yeah, it was Susan Cropper got 1.3 million and Brad got 1.063 million. So 55 to 25 or 45% for a total of 2.3 million votes. And then with the voter ID stuff, 876,000 to 548,000. 60% of the people voted for the constitutional amendment than they did for the Supreme Court justice. That does not track to me at all.
No.
So I remember when who was it? Al Franken won, and he won because somebody found ballots in their trunk in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But there was another one. There was two propositions. I remember having to vote for these two things. And one was a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage. And another one was a constitutional amendment to have voter ID in Minnesota. And I worked in downtown Minneapolis, and people were talking about this quite a bit when it was happening. And almost invariably, you'd have a split of people that said, yes, the gay marriage ban should go in, but more people I knew or I talked to said it should not be in place. But then when you talk to the same people, most all of them were like, yeah, we should have a constitutional amendment to have voter ID. Almost all of them.
Yep.
So I don't have a great sampling group, but these are people I talked to, or the feeling I had in Minneapolis too. And if you didn't vote for something, it was a no or something like that, or you had to actively vote. And what I found out was, no, so neither one passed, but the voter ID one lost to a greater majority than the gay marriage one did. Like more people actively voted no against voter ID than they voted no against an amendment to the gay marriage proposal. And there was a lot of people I knew that were like, why are you trying to put this into the Constitution for the gay marriage thing? I was even like, I don't care. Why are you trying to do this? It doesn't seem like something to put in the Constitution.
Correct.
But isn't that kind of funny that more people actively said no to a constitutional amendment to have voter ID? It just didn't make any sense to me. And it kind of, I'm surprised it actually went through in Wisconsin, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but by a huge amount too.
Right. So good for them. I'm glad they're getting it, and I wish that for us sometimes.
But the Democrats just don't like fair elections, I guess.
Well, they like it when they can control it, and otherwise, fascism. January 6th. I don't know. It's always so confusing to me sometimes about how we use 9/11. That we use that for a long time to push a lot of bad legislation through.
Yeah, we need to keep a chart of this, so we know when it circles itself back to. So we
Somehow.
know where somehow works it. We're at this number. It's going to work itself back to this. See how long it takes.
Well, I have some creepy good news. Good news in that I really like the story. Bad news is I hate the topic. 2 million people. User international pedophile ring, child porn ring busted by Europol. 2 million. 2 million. It's absolutely disgusting, these people. I don't think there's any way to fix these people either. The good news is it's been busted. I hope there's severe penalties, and I hope these people are taken off the streets and never can do this again. Unfortunately, they've already damaged a lot of kids with this thing, and that can never be fixed. So hats off to you. And I'll say this too. The people that have to work on this kind of stuff, God bless them, because that has got to be the worst freaking place to go and do your job, is to look at this kind of stuff and have to deal with it every day. So it's it's disgusting, but I'm glad these people are actually doing it and getting it done.
Right, just like that loser down in Bloomington or down in Minnesota, the representative. They
Yeah.
caught him. You caught him. It's great that they have some people do it. You know, they have do it. Someone working on it. It's great they caught him. We know it's never going to happen again.
Right.
His
We got a great
wife
comment here.
Wars.
MCGA, make chippers great again. Yeah, just a long line of into the wood chipper, baby.
Yeah, I mean, and if that 2 million was they were talking about, if that's international, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to start Auschwitz back up again.
Oh God. Well, we're gonna edit that thing out. I think we're just coming to my office for that one. Let's see. We're gonna do another one here. I'm gonna talk about Trump signed an executive order to restore improperly removed statues and public monuments. Now, I haven't heard of a backlash against this, but I'm sure there is, right?
Oh, right, definitely.
But yeah, he came forward and said, you know what? It's time to restore some of this stuff and get rid of this divisive race-centered ideology. And I couldn't agree more with him. When you're telling people they'll never be part of your country because of the race, they'll never feel like they're part of the country. We've got to foster this togetherness. We've got to come together and say, you know, I don't care what your life has been like. You are an American. You're born here. You're an American. You should be proud of the history. If you're not proud of what it was, what we're doing about it, there's lots of stuff that has happened in the past that's been bad. You go through history, there's never been a good time of utopia, unless you want to go back to the Garden of Eden.
Right.
It's been levels of horrible, and right now it's pretty darn good. You got a pretty good lifestyle we have here, especially in the United States. You should be proud of it. You should be happy about it. You should be fostering it. We should be trying to work together to make it even better. Think of where we'd be if we could just make it better, right? We didn't have to worry about internet security, like I said, like what it was at the beginning of the internet. We made vast improvements right away. And until people started figuring out how to get around it, and we had to take account of that, it put everything to a dead standstill. It's going to be the same for this. People need to be proud of this country, understand its past. You don't have to be happy about the past, but you should understand it and see what's being done about it. That's the only way you fix things.
Right. Yeah, you can't really erase history, but you can understand it.
And you can't make me feel guilty about things that happened in the past that I had nothing to do with, by the way.
Right.
Let's see. I think I talked about this last week. Maybe I just put it on here because I was bored or something. But we talk about the billionaires who are exclusively contributing to the Democratic Party. Now, this is for people that are complaining about Elon Musk. Here are some billionaires that are going against going to the Democratic Party: George Soros, Michael Bloomberg, Reid Hoffman, Hansburg Weiss, Tom Steyer, Sam Bankman. I don't think Sam is contributing anymore. I think he's in jail right now, right?
He's in jail, pretty much.
Yeah, Mark Cuban, that guy. I got things to say about Mark Cuban, but I will not say them because Mama told me not to say anything bad if you had nothing nice to say. And then here you got Republicans: Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, who is a complete turncoat. I don't know if they are, Did you ever watch Terminator? They're like the first Terminators were easy. They had plastic skin, or rubber skin. It was easy to spot. Now they look human. That's Zuckerberg in the last few years. He looked like a whole robot. Now he's looking human. I think he's just turned around because he saw he could possibly be facing some problems. And Bezos, same thing.
Yeah.
I don't trust him. And this very well could be, but I'm not sure. But they could be on the Epstein flight logs. I think they are. I would really like to see that. I'd really like to see that list come out of this woman got put into jail for trafficking minors to men, prostituting minors to men. Where are the men that were being served these minors? And they should be in that same Interpol thing. They should be arrested.
Right.
I don't care who's on the list. And being on a flight log doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty. Being on it one time, it's possible you could have gone out there and seen what was going on and been like, oh, I had no idea. If you're on it multiple times, pretty sure that's implying you're guilty. But I'm not saying it's, innocent until proven guilty. But at the same time, let's take a look at it. I think we are big enough to understand and take a look at it and see what's going on.
Right.
It doesn't have to be protected. Let's see. Am I done with the national news, Dave? Ooh, no, I'm not. This is world, kind of world news now.
It's more of a world news, which we don't normally get into, but the Democrats are so intent on making us Trump look like a fascist, and that it's good to show that he's far from.
Yeah, and this is the game plan. This was the game plan for Donald Trump, and they thought they were going to be able to do this. This is why they so heavily talked about January 6th of 2000 being an insurrection. And they were trying to tie Trump to it, because if they could tie Trump to an insurrection, then they could say, well, you're not qualified, or you can't run for public office anymore. And that was the whole plan. And that's what they're doing to these other people. They're banning these people. They've made up some charges against them, especially this French opposition leader. She is like looking at like she would win.
Yeah.
So they accuse her of a crime of paying her employees, and they have stipulations how to do it. So she violated some rule, or her party violated some rule for that stipulation. It was all about still paying employees. It wasn't like she was embezzling funds. And so banned for 5 years. Romanian opposition party banned. Brazilian opposition leader banned. French opposition leader banned. Ukraine suspended all elections, and they actually dismantled the opposition party. They made it illegal.
Right.
Moldova bans opposition party. Germany tried to ban the AfD. America tried to ban Trump, like I was talking about. All in the name of saving democracy. You keep doing this. It's a pattern. When I saw it happening to Trump, it was very blatant, right? We were talking about it at the time. They just really want to have him down as a criminal, and that's what this whole sentencing was, for the criminal conviction, so they could call him a convicted felon, right? It's the only reason they did the sentencing right before he took office.
Right. Yeah, it's all a political stunt. It was just the wording. If they could have thrown him out, they would have gladly done it, but they knew they couldn't do that, so they went to attack him to stop him from basically running,
right,
or to have leverage against him when he was running. But that just made him more popular, so that kind of backfired on him, because they're really not that great.
They didn't anticipate that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the other interesting thing, and just to go back to that, you want a conspiracy theory? Let me give you a conspiracy theory. There's only one time that CNN covered one of the Trump rallies. The only time, and they were there filming it in 4K. And you know which rally that was? It's the one he got shot.
Yeah.
Why did they pick that one rally to go to? Right? And they wanted it. I think if you want a conspiracy theory, there's a conspiracy theory. They knew it was going to happen. They wanted, in full high def, his head getting shot, so they could play it over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be their intro banner.
Yeah.
For their news.
Well, it would be something that they would walk up to the next guy and say, "Here, you want this to happen to you? Get in line." Right?
Yeah.
I want to do another topic on national news, and I think that's it for national news. But these people, here they are. They're ones that are voting to undo the Trump tariffs. These Republicans. What's Rand Paul doing in this? I get Cocaine Mitch. He just does whatever he's told. And these two idiots do whatever they're told. But I thought Rand had some integrity. And
he obviously doesn't have any fiscal sense of what is trying to be accomplished. Is he just trying to get even with them because he didn't get a senior position?
I I can't understand this one bit. Honestly, they should be going in with this. I'm not saying I'm an expert on the tariffs, but I understand what he's trying to do. I think I understand what he's trying to do. He laid it out. Now, does that mean I go and protest for or against it? No. No, it doesn't rise to that level. Let these guys take care of it. So I'm just confused by it. I'm confused by it, but I understand three of them. Rand Paul, man, I thought you were cool. What are you doing?
Yeah.